Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Emperor's Voice podcast. I am Emperor K, your host, as always, and this week we are doing the Blizzcon special that has happened on the 6th and the 7th of November, and I had an e-virtual ticket to watch that show live in my house, and boy, did I enjoy every last minute of that show! And, I gotta say, one of my favorite moments at the opening ceremony, we'll start off with that, the opening ceremony, the Warcraft movie! That looked awesome. I cannot wait for it to come to cinemas here in the UK. That looked badass. Oh, I cannot wait to see what the story is about that. And also, speaking of Warcraft, we've also managed to see the opening trailer for the Warcraft Legion expansion. And boy, I was a little shocked to see King Varian Rin in it, as well as Sylvanas Wildrunner. Who'd have thought those two would be going to the main islands for the new expansion? I thought that the king would stay behind, where the same situation with his son, Anduin. Who'd have thought that King Varian Rin would be going there? Let's also go to StarCraft, because that was also in the opening ceremony, because they've announced mission packs, and the very first mission pack that's gonna come out is Nova Covert Ops. Oh, that's a whole lot of fun. I'll be getting into more details about the Covert Ops and the mission packs, as well as StarCraft 2 later on in the show. We've also got Hearthstone. They've announced a new adventure mode, and they called it the Explorers League. Also more details to come, and I'll also be reading all 45 cards that will be coming out for this new adventure. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 45 cards are announced for this new adventure mode. Also, we've got Heroes of the Storm. They've announced 3 new heroes. Details also later on in the show. And Overwatch, they've just announced when it's going to come out. It's spring 2016. Oh, I cannot wait for this. They've also announced an Origins edition for the game, and it is coming to console, according to Blizzard. Yes, so more details on that to come as well. Also, the Warcraft Legion expansion's coming out 2016 in the summer. Oh, I'm definitely pre-ordering the collector's edition when I get a chance to pre-order it. Oh, this is a whole lot of fun for me. I think we're going to go over the hour mark here. I have no idea. There's so much for me to go through this week, so I better start cracking on now, shouldn't I? So we're going to start off with Warcraft, and the trailer that I mentioned earlier in the start of the podcast is actually linked to the main story. Yes, King Varian Rin and Lady Sylvanas all land at the Broken Isles. This is all main story related, that cinema trailer. I think it's the first time that they've ever done something like that in their game's history. Yeah, so when you pre-order the game World of Warcraft Legion, you get the level 100 character boost. So if you got a character that you liked but haven't played for a long while, use that boost on him or her, depending on what you've got. And you also get early access to the Demon Hunter class. Yes, that's one of the reasons why I'm pre-ordering. Oh, this is fun. Yeah, so we've also been introduced to a scenario called Broken Shore. It's the ground zero for entering the islands that the Legion is taking over, and it's going to be a 40-player scenario, but it's not the old traditional scenarios where it's all alliance, whole horde. No, this is different. We're going to have 2 20-player groups with both horde and alliance characters. So this is definitely a collaboration scenario for everybody here. So you've got to work together. I think that's how it's gonna work. Yeah, and gonna be a story catch-up, so everyone's gonna know what happens at the Broken Isles, and it's gonna be a kickoff for the experience for everybody here. And the result is equals the world changing by the player's heroics. So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye out for. Now, let's go on to some of the Demon Hunter stuff. My favorites. So, I was hoping for a demon class for a long, long while. Yeah. So, Demon Hunters, the hero class, they're much like the Death Knights from Wrath of the Lich King. But instead, they're going to be starting at level 98, and they'll show us the story of the Illidari, all the elves from Illidan Stormrage's training to prepare them for something like the Legion never happening ever again. Third time's the charm for the Legion, I say. Yeah, so it's the story is going to bridge from the Burning Crusade. That's the very first expansion for World of Warcraft, and definitely looking forward to what happened during that time. It's something that's been bothering me for a while. I mean, why has Illidari Stormrage kept his presence in the Black Temple, whereas there's been nothing but elves within the temple? What's been going on in there? So we'll be finding out in that story. Yeah. So we'll be going to the prison world of Maradun. It's like I said, a prison world for all the captured demons. That's been happening. All the bad demons. They're all bad. So yeah, all the strongest demons that's ever emerged in the world of Warcraft have been captured there and sent by Sargeras, who is the very same person that broke it. So yeah, I don't know why that's happening. So yeah, so definitely experience that I want to go through. Find out why Sargeras broke his own world, his own prison in half. Yeah, and weirdly enough, it's the location of a keystone, which is also important for the story of Legion. So it's definitely interesting to find out why the Demon Hunters are going there, and also activating this keystone. Maybe early on in the Burning Crusade. Well, not early on. Later on in Burning Crusade history. Oh yeah, and there's definitely going to be a lot of strong demons for everyone to fight. There's 3 demon hunters, new demons that we know about that was announced at BlizzCon. There's an Imp Mother, which is basically the spawner of all imps. That's my opinion. Then we've got a Jailer. He's definitely someone that keeps all of the good guys kept in cages, so make sure that he controls the battlefield. And an Inquisitor, who I have no idea what they're going to be. I think they're going to be the most dangerous of the demons. And we were shown a clip of all the demons that will be appearing in Legion, and I spotted 7 new demons in that clip. If you think you've spotted more, do leave a comment on Facebook, because I'm telling you, there are 7 of them. Yeah, so let's stick to Demon Hunters, because these guys, I believe, are the badass hero classes that we definitely after for a long, long time. There's 2 roles for Demon Hunter. The first one is the Havoc, which is a melee DPS character, which basically uses the same strength that the demons use, and that'll be used against them. It's fight fire with fire. That's their motto for the Havoc roles, and they use a lot of hand glaives. These are definitely if you've spelled Illidan Stormrage in the Burning Crusade at the Black Temple, yeah, you'll know what they look like. They're badass. I really want to pair my own. Yeah, you'll be using a resource called Fury, which is generated by abilities, and it is used to unleash your most devastating Demon Hunter attacks. There's definitely a lot of interesting combos to use. We were also shown some of the abilities, but I didn't take notes down. But we will find out what they will be, because I want to keep them in the dark for myself, so that I can discover them as I play the game. The other role is the Vengeance role. This is the tank role for the Demon Hunter. So yeah, there's no healers in this. In this role, so yeah, they deal a lot of pain to their opponents, and they're sort of like an Inquisitor for the Demon Hunters, but they use a lot of protection spells. Hence why they're deemed a tank in the game. So definitely a lot of fun. If you haven't ever played a tank before in Warcraft or any RPGs of any kind, it's definitely interesting to try out a tank role. That way you can, if you're one of the strategic kind, you can. If you play something like Mass Effect and you draw the attention of a giant robot, and your allies can then attack it, yeah, it's definitely worth trying out the tank role. Get their attention and take the heat for yourself. It's definitely worth it, because boy, you can make battles a lot shorter when you do that. Yeah, and there's some more Demon Hunter stuff for me to go through. Yeah, there's just a little more. We've got what kind of a hero class would the Demon Hunters be if they didn't have them on mounts, right? So Illidari Storm Mage himself gives us access to our very own Fell Saber. Oh, they are awesome. If you've if you know about what War Sabers are, then you'll know. Let me explain what Fell Saber is. It's basically one of those giant cats, a rideable cat, and it's got a fell skull for its front face. So it's not like a normal horse. So it's pretty unique and distinctive, and I bet only the Demon Hunters are going to be able to ride them. So they're a lot of fun. So Maradun is going to be the first half of the Demon Hunters experience. I'm looking forward to this a lot. I can't wait. I'm keeping my eyes out for the beta. Oh yeah. Later on in the Demon Hunter story, you're going to be integrated into your faction. So whether you're a Night Elf or a Blood Elf, if you're Night Elf, you go to the Alliance. Blood Elf, you go to the Horde. Yeah. So you're going to be integrated into the faction. So definitely a lot of fun. Plus, you also get access to your own order hall, which will be in Mardoon, the same place that you went to take care of some work for Illidari Stormrage himself. And we also get access to artifact warglaives. If I'll be touching up on the artifact weapons in a bit. So yeah, this is a lot. This looks like a lot of fun to me, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps just reading about all this stuff again. I'm looking forward to this a lot. Oh, definitely do follow me on Facebook and like me on YouTube. Now the next part of this. Every expansion in World of Warcraft gets some of these new zones. Horde in the Broken Isle, it's got 6 areas that we know of, but unfortunately, we've only got access to 5. So yeah, I'm gonna describe them as they came out. Val Shara. Oh, this is the Druid capital, the origins of where all Druids in the world of Warcraft came from, and it's now infected by the Emerald Nightmare. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot to do about the Druids. And when I saw the class orders come out, I thought we were going to get Moonglade as the class order hall for the Druids, but turns out I was wrong. So yeah. My bad. But there's a lot of we got to see a lot of new stuff, some of the concept images, and it was, well, some of the images, it looked really beautiful. Yeah, those trees, it was all beautiful. But when the Emerald Nightmare comes, it was really creepy. If you're into dark, twisty stuff, then this is a zone for you. Definitely, scary stuff. Let me tell you that. Very scary stuff. Yeah. So it's got. I think it's got one dungeon that I know of. Blackrock Hold. I'll go into the dungeons a little bit later on. But yeah, we also got to see some new skins for Moonkin. So if you're a balanced druid or that goes into Moonkin form a lot, yeah, you're gonna get a brand new Moonkin skin. So yeah, congratulations, mate. And we've also got to see some dragons, because there was a lack of dragons in Warlords of Draenor. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to try and complete the expansion because I really want to get back. I really want to stay into the World of Warcraft. Let me tell you that. Val Shara, it's in the western part of the world. So yeah, a lot of fun that I'm gonna have when the expansion comes out. So yeah, if I was a druid, I'd definitely go here. Ooh, definitely. Stormheim, that's in the eastern part of the Broken Isles, so it's the home to the Vrykul. They're basically Vikings, and basically the story in that area is related to the God King. Basically, a very strong Vrykul that's wanting to get to the poles of origination, and in this zone we will discover the origins of the Kavaldir and the Valkyr. The Valkyr are these winged maidens, and we don't get to see their faces a lot, so yeah, it's very interesting. We've got there's a new Valkyr Mystic and a new Valkyr Ascendant in this game, so definitely new enemies to combat, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what kind of spells and abilities they're going to bring to the field. And we also got to see a new kind of dragon. They're called Storm Dragons. Basically, I think they're going to be conducting a lot of electricity in the game, so yeah, definitely very strong, and ones to watch out for if you're a dragon fan. Asuna. This is in the southwestern part, and it's all gonna be taking part with Ashara. It's an Ashara story base. It's the zone, so you're going to be learning, well, you're going to be working alongside the remnants of some of the blue dragonflight. Basically, they've been in a decline a lot ever since Wrath of the Lich King, so yeah, you're going to be working alongside them, and you're going to go to a place called Warden's Isle, which is home to a place called Vault of Wardens. Definitely, there's a lot of exploring to do in Legion, so yeah, yeah, so, there's a lot, and, well, you've got to watch the whole thing again, because I'm still recovering from all of this. Yeah, so there's a new model for a ghost. If you've seen the Banshees somewhere in the World of Warcraft, and you know that they're all female ghosts, basically, I haven't heard them scream in a long while. Yeah, so that's going to be a new ghost called a Spectre. Finally, Blizzard, what took you so long? Yeah, so we're going to be fighting Spectres, and a new Naga called a Brute. Yeah, these are the strong sea snakes that you're going to have to try and outmuscle. Use their own strength against them. They're definitely strong opponents that you want to try and, avoid at best, but you're going to have to fight them sooner or later, so maybe in quests, yeah. And the Nagas are also going to get new models, much like the Moonkins. And we're also going to see a lot of sea giants in Asuna. You're going to have to prepare yourself for the worst, because I think they're here to drown you now. Yeah, so we're also going to be introduced to some new wardens, and their favorite pets, of course, the owls. Yeah, definitely, you've got to... the owls, they looked awesome, especially alongside a warden, because normally we don't see a lot of wardens in the World of Warcraft, because they're always female night elves that have sworn to protect a very important person in the Night Elf capital. So yeah, definitely want to watch. Hopefully, maybe in the beta I'll find out more about them. Another zone which is in the northern part of the Broken Isles, the High Mountain. This is a place to some Tauren clans, very ancient Tauren clans, and some of the concept art that I saw at BlizzCon, yeah, it was beautiful. They actually had the tusks, the antlers like you see on deer, deer here in the real world. They actually had some inscriptions drawn onto their horns for the bigger male ones, but the female ones, they've got the shorter horns, because I don't know why that is, but hey, it's their idea. Maybe it's a natural thing, so yeah, can't really grasp that idea, so so we're gonna be fighting some high mountain Taurens and some creatures called Drogbars, so yeah, definitely you're gonna have to brave yourself for when you enter the high mountain. And we've also got some new harpies that we have to deal with. These are taller, more vicious than the normal harpies that we are used to in Kalimdor in the World of Warcraft, so you're gonna have to prepare yourself for the worst when you meet these new harpies. And also for fun, Blizzard have added mooses. Oh yeah, so definitely, and and the calf. You can't forget the calf. Young and old, definitely. We're gonna see a lot of the mooses in the high mountains, and we're gonna go to a place called Suranar. It's in the southern-eastern part of the Broken Isles, and it's still work in progress. There's still a lot of things for Blizzard to do before their big launch in the summer, so definitely. But we've got a few details about it. It's a place that's home to the Nightwell in Suranar City. So yeah, you'll also get to go to Suranar City as part of a raid. So also more details about that to come. Yeah, and you also get to meet a group of elves called the Nightborn, which are more dependent on the arcane energies of the Nightwell. But if they committed a crime and they become exiled, they'll become weakened. That they show off more the bone than they do muscles. It's really awful. It's sort of like a real life scenario, because basically if you're out on the street and you don't get a lot of nutrients, proteins, that kind of stuff that the human body needs, yeah, you become weak and you won't be able to stand much. Yeah, it's definitely awful. We got to see some of the exiled night elves that are called the Nightfallen. So these are the people that I've been talking about for a bit. But if the Nightfallen do not get that source of arcane energy that they need, they become withered. yeah, with the night elves, they become more insane, destructive than the normal nightborn elves, and it's a whole lot worse than you can imagine. Because now you have to fight with the nightborn night elves. So definitely, there was another zone, the old Darnath zone, but we haven't got much details about it. So yeah, but here's the best thing about the new zones. You don't have to go through a certain order to quest order to get to the zones. You could go anywhere on the Broken Isles that you want, and the creatures, they will scale with your level. So if you're level 102, they will go up to 102 themselves. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun. It was a really awesome thing that they announced at BlizzCon. So yeah, definitely, I hope that they do really well in this. So yeah, oh, I'm looking forward to this. There is one more thing that I want to touch up for the zones. Suramar, it is the last place that you'll go where you have to be level 110. So definitely, Suramar is going to be the last place that you'll go in the Broken Isle. So you've got to really make sure that you go to all 4 zones. Make sure that not only have you completed the quests, but you also get the Pillars of Creation to make sure that the Legion is sealed away again for good. Yeah, so we're gonna have some endgame talk now, because this is definitely a lot of fun. Well, they're gonna make sure that we've got some freeform gameplay to keep us coming back for more. So, if we were a gathering profession, people like mining or herbalism, we'll get some of those quests, and there's no compulsion for this. Well, there's no, there's going to be a vehicle for storytelling. That'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, if you like the storytelling of any game like World of Warcraft, definitely this is something for you. They also want to make sure that we have a lot of use for the world itself. So like objective quests. Basically, we're going to get some representatives of some factions in Legion. So they'll be offering us some quests for us to do out in the world of Legion. So basically, say if we got faction class, like the Paladin class, we'll do quests for the Paladins class orders. So we're going to be going out to the world of Legion a lot, so we're not going to be sitting on our butts for a long while. Yeah, so definitely it's all in zone. So basically, if we were to do a quest, go to a zone and we do have 5 quests, we'll get some reputation for the faction. So yeah, definitely something that you can do a lot of in Legion. So we're not going to be limited to a certain amount of choice. We're going to be spoiled for choice to go into the world of Legion, complete quests, gain reputation for these other factions, and get a lot of rewards for that. So maybe we're going to get a lot of mounts or battle pets. It's definitely a lot of fun things for us to do. So there's also going to be some garrison missions for us, the players, because when garrisons were introduced into Warlords of Draenor, the followers were introduced as well to do the missions for the garrison. And basically, you had to send your followers out to do missions, but you weren't going out to the world a lot. So basically, what Blizzard have done is that we are now going to get access to a lot of class order quests for us to do. It's going to be some specific objectives, some PvP objectives. We're also going to do we can get some world raid bosses and profession missions. Yeah, sorry about that. And some mini games, fun mini games. If you remember the rolling on that building, like if you remember in Mr. Pandaria, something like that. I'm definitely looking forward to what kind of mini games we're going to get in this one. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of things to do in Legion this time. So it's not just some limited content that's only exclusive to garrisons, but now we're going to get some content related to the class order hall, which is going to be, in my opinion, a lot of fun. So definitely want to keep an eye out for raids and dungeons. A lot of fun. One of my favorite parts. So definitely the creme de la creme of World of Warcraft is the dungeons and raids. So we're gonna go into a few of the two of the raids that we know of. The first is the Emerald Nightmare. It's a 7-boss raid, and we're gonna have to we're gonna delve straight into the Emerald Nightmare, and it is if you ever had a bad dream and it's something that you do not like, it's really scary. You're gonna have to swallow what scares you the most and go into the world. Go into this raid, definitely. We get access to Valshara, That's the way into the raid. It's the place where it's the first zone I mentioned in the zone section of the podcast. As for World of Warcraft, so you've got to venture into the Emerald Nightmare and fight. Well, go into the Emerald Dream and take down the darkness. Try to save the Emerald Dream from being corrupted forever. We've got to ascend Shaldarsil. I think it's the giant tree in the zone of the Emerald Nightmare, and we have to try and save the Emerald Dream that way. And we'll be entering the nightmare through that tree, so hopefully this will be an end to the Emerald Nightmare. Otherwise, this world could be doomed. Well, the world of Warcraft could be doomed. Yeah, and so we also got to see some of the bosses for this raid. A dragon is the first boss. We don't know what its name is going to be, so guesses onto what its name is the second boss, who, if you're a druid follower and you know Cenarius, do not be shocked. This is the second raid boss. Ooh, it's definitely going to be hard for you to fight, because Cenarius, he was trained as a druid, and he has also become weakened through this phase, so definitely you're going to have to fight Cenarius, and a creature called Savius. We don't know if he's the fifth or the last raid boss this raid, so definitely want to bring out theories if you're a big Warcraft fan that listens to my podcast. Suramar Palace. This is the other raid that I have heard that was introduced to the Legion panel. It's a 10 boss raid, and it is Gul'dan's base of operations. This is where we finally face Gul'dan. Finally, what took them so long? Oh wait, let me rephrase that. What took us so long? Yeah, so we've got to infiltrate Suramar Palace, that is in Suramar itself. It's home to the Eye of the Aman'Thuls. It's definitely a very dangerous place. It used to be a very peaceful place before Gul'dan came to the area, but now it's been turned into a paradise for demons, and bad Nightborn. So you're gonna have to fight a lot of Night Elves in this one. So yeah, we have to fight a few Dreadlord ambassadors and magistrates of the Nightborns, and it's definitely a really difficult place to go through. So I think it's one of those places where we have to make sure that we're strong enough as we go on into as we do with the previous raids, and make sure that all our gear is up to date, and not only our gear, but also the artifact weapon. So definitely make sure that you're ready for a few grinding days. Now let's go on to the dungeons, because there are 10 dungeons. 10 dungeons! 5 of them are going to be level up dungeons, and got details on 2 of those dungeons, so I will read these 5 dungeons out as clear as I can. The Eye of Azshara, Netharian's Nest, the Halls of Valor, Darkheart Thicket, and Violet Hold. Yeah, if you've played Warcraft and you heard the Violet Hold, it's coming to Legion again. A second installment of the Violet Hold? Yeah, so these are storyline integrated dungeons, and you can take them on in any order, much like the zones are, so definitely. So yeah, the Darkheart Thicket is the heart of all the Forest corruption, and you have to rescue an ally from either the Alliance or the Horde from the Nightmare. That's happening in that zone. And when I saw the video, it looked beautiful. Definitely. Then second one, the Halls of Valor. It's inspired by Valhalla. I'm not sure if I covered that yet, or if it's based on something else. But you have to prove your worth. Odin. I'll spell it out for you if you can't, in case you don't understand. It's Odyn. Yeah, Ody. Y for Yankee, N for Nixon. Yeah. And you have to claim something called the Aegis of Agramar. I think it's another statue or Pillar's creation or something. So yeah, definitely want to keep an eye out for. If you do, you can do these dungeons in any order that you want. There's no set rules on which dungeon you can do. So yeah, definitely want to. It's a really interesting thing to do. If you've ever played World of Warcraft before, you'll know what to do. The max level dungeons, there's 5 of them. We don't have the time walking dungeons. No, not the time walking. We don't have any new heroic dungeons from the past World of Warcraft vanilla Warcraft. So no, unfortunately, that's a shame. But yeah, never mind. So these 5 max level dungeons are Vault of Wardens, Black Rock Holds, Helheim, Suramar Noble Districts and the Suramar Catacombs. And the Noble District is a unique dungeon. Well, both of them are Suramar Noble District and the Catacombs. The Noble District is where all the nobles gather and have all these big feasts and parties and whatnot, whereas the Catacombs is the place where all Nightborn are laid to rest. So yeah, definitely. Oh, Helheim. It's a ship. It's a float. It is an actual ghost ship. Oh yeah, it's haunted, cursed by a Valkyr queen called Helya, and there is a lot of precious cargo that you're gonna have to get your hands on and protect in this dungeon. So a lot of fun thing. If you remember the Iron Siege works where you're on that train, the train keeps moving. So yeah, it's something like that. So I don't know if it's going to crash or if it's going to be purged from the world. I don't know. The fourth dungeon that we got details on is Blackrook Halls. It's an ancient elven stronghold where all the night elves are gathered to make sure that it protected the lands from the invading forces of the Legion and all of those backed armies. I don't know the history of the stronghold, but you're going to have to fight somebody called Lord Ravencrest in this dungeon. So yeah, you're going to be a really busy person in this dungeon. So a lot of stuff to do in the dungeons, and they're going to be remaining relevant, well, in the end game, because you will get some rewards based on the difficulty, and there's going to be a variety of experiences for each dungeon. So it's going to be like the dungeons in Wars of Draenor, but they're going to try and avoid something called a Mechanair problem. I've no idea much about the Mechanair problem myself. I was just taking down the notes as best as I could. So if you want to watch the entire World of Warcraft panels again, go on YouTube. If you got the e-ticket, you can watch it all over again, free of charge. Now I'm also going to go into further details about the dungeons. Basically, we're going to get something called Challenger Keystones. If you're familiar with the World of Warcraft bronze, gold, silver settings for the Challenge Dungeons run, they've been removed with Challenger Keystones for random dungeons. Power level, it will equal the difficulty, and that in turn will give us better rewards. So basically, if you're facing a really strong dungeon, you will get strong rewards. So it's great to hear that we're gonna get the key rewards that we're after. So it's not gonna be randomly split between us. I don't think. There's also gonna be some bonus modifiers in the dungeon to make things a lot more difficult for us. So basically, it's not like when you gather all the enemies, beat them up, and then move on to the next zone. But, well, if you beat the timer in any Challenge Keystone dungeon, the stone will upgrade. But if the timer beats you, the stone will be depleted, but you will still get the rewards. So basically, it's not an entire loss for anyone. So, and what they're doing is basically scaling the dungeons up and not down, and making it a lot more easier for us, the players, to really get back into the dungeons side of the game. They're focusing on the combat gameplay instead of rushing, like I said. So basically, then it's trying to make sure that we're having a huge challenge on our hands instead of just basically facing a challenge against the clock for trying to get the gold reward. So it's a lot of fun for us that way. There's unbounded progress in this stuff. So we're gonna have there's no change in what we're gonna do in dungeons. And with progress, and there's also going to be new mods each week to try and challenge us to get these better rewards, making us think on our feet now. So yeah, so I've got some examples here. Enemies will be enraged at 30% HP. There will be more enemies. Corpses explode after a certain amount of time, or we suffer periodic damages to make sure that the healer really stands on his feet. So yeah, there's a lot of challenging stuff for us to get through in this game. Now, when Legion comes out. So, and the rewards, we will get a loot chest at the end of the dungeon, so we will all get something at the end, and the jackpot at the highest level, and it's a huge alternative to raids if you're a big raider. So yeah, definitely making sure that we're more into the dungeons now. Blizzard have definitely made huge changes to their dungeon system. So now it's not just about the raids, it's now about the dungeons. And that, in my opinion, is what RPGs is all about. I'm still getting goosebumps. Now we're going to something a little new. One of my favorite parts that happened at the Gamescom. Artifact weapons. Yeah. Oh, this is one of my favorites because now we don't need to loot monsters for the weapons. Sorry, now. Yeah. We get the weapons automatically through a quest. And we get something called artifact power through quest bosses, rare spawns, drops, dungeons and raid bosses, as well as arena and battleground wins. So yeah, so we will get to make our artifact weapon a lot stronger than it is when we first acquire it at level 100 through a quest. I'm really looking forward to what kind of weapon the mage staff is. Oh, yeah. Plus, the progress for the weapon goes beyond level 110, so we can unlock every trait that's in the weapon skill tree. So we can do a lot of progress for the weapon, even though we've got to level 110. We're gonna have to try and unlock all of the traits for our weapons. So definitely a lot of stuff to do for our weapons in World of Warcraft Legion. Yeah, so we can enhance the weapons through something called relics. So basically we can find it through quests, or we can get it through rare drops. So yeah, we have a lot of choices now for the enhancements for the weapon. So yeah, it's a whole lot of cool now. Plus, not only that, but we can also get the artifact upgraded at level 110. And not only that, but we can also unlock different forms. We were shown some pictures of what the weapons would look like. So yeah, it looks. I like the look of some of the Doomhammer and the Ashbringer in the presentation, because they look really badass in my opinion. So yeah. Definitely something that we can definitely look forward to when Legion comes out. Another thing that I'm going to go through now, class order halls, or order halls, class hall, whatever we can call them. These are localization for our own class. So we've got an order hall for the mages, an order hall for the paladins, and an order hall for the demon hunters. Yeah, so we're going to have our own a little sub-city for our own class, and it's group welcome with a lot of variety, so there's a lot of things to do in the class hall, and these are dedicated to stopping the Legion in the game. So yeah, it's a lot of things. It's very important, much like the garrison in Warlords of Draenor. So what can we do in the order halls? Well, we can strengthen our artifact with the artifact power that we get through the bosses. We can also work together with class champions. Some famous faces from each class will be in the class order hall. So we've also got access to a scouting map to find out what's happening in the world of Legion right now, do whatever we want to in the world, and go out there and do some quests. There's also some class content that can only be accessed for our certain classes. For me, I'm going to get access for my mage class, and I'm also going to get some features and bonuses for my mage, my Draenei mage. So it's a step away from the old conventional methods of what we were used to back in Warlords of Draenor. It's going to be a lot of fun, in my opinion. And we're going to stick with classes in Legions, because there's some changes that are going to be implemented for all of our classes. It's going to be immensive, yeah, I think so. That's immense, distinct from all the others, and empowered. So there's going to be a lot of changes. For example, if you're a survivalist hunter, you're not going to get access to a gun or a bow. You're going to get access to a spear, a hunting spear. So you're going to be like Vexar, he's hunting warrior. So you're going to get access to a spear in Legion. There's a new arcane mastery talent called Savant. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get access to the beta to find out more about this, so definitely something interesting. There's a talent point revision, so it's fewer themes, more choices. There's going to be specific talents for our classes, for the class roles, so maybe more arcane related abilities, or maybe some warrior protections and abilities that have never existed before Legion have come out. So that could also mean hundreds of new talents for us to choose and customize our characters with. So definitely something to keep an eye out if you're big on the talents. And another important thing that was brought in, professions. There is a new user interface for our professions. Yeah. So instead of the old-fashioned scroll down the materials at the bottom, it's going to be a lot wider. We're going to have access to 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star ranked recipes in Legion. So we're going to have a lot of new recipes to create for not only our jewel crafting, but blacksmithing and whatnot. And there's a new profession material called Obliterum. Say if we have 4 rings, they didn't really work out for us, we could either auction house them, sell them to a vendor, or we can use a forge, an Obliterum forge, to create the Obliterum. Yeah, so a lot of things for us to do for our professions in Legion. I don't know what the maximum level is going to be for Legion in our professions, but I hope it's something like 775 or 800, because that was a really, really long time for my jewel crafting to get up. So yeah, definitely keeping an eye out on that. Now we're going on to something, well, that's came out at the end of the panel, of Warcraft panel actually. World items, you can pick them up anywhere, and they're power relevant to you, so the item will adjust to your character itself. You don't need to adjust your character to it. The item adjusts to the character. So that's a big plus on my side. And they will have some very unique effects for you. So it'll be great to experiment with your character to make sure that, well, just to see what's strong for your character and what's weak for the others. It's always dropped on an item level, so the item level always goes up with you. So, and if you do pick up any duplicate items of the ones that you've got, you can always trade them with other people. So don't feel like they're going to be soulbound to you for anything else. That's one big plus. Transmogrify, that was also one of the big announcements that happened. Well, you should have heard the crowd react. It was huge. Yeah, well, it's going to clear up all the bank of all the items, the armor actually, all the armor that you've collected throughout your World of Warcraft career, and unlock them in a special wardrobe that will unlock all the appearances of your items, and you can also test them out for your characters. So say if you've got a druid and a shaman, and you want your druid to look like a shaman, it's actually now possible, and it's account-wide, so it's not only limited to your Alliance characters, it's now limited to your Horde. It's limitless now. Absolutely genius on the part of Blizzard, I've got to say. My hat is off to the people at Blizzard. Yeah, so you will get some new outfits, and you can... all the items that are in your bank, your void storage, and your inventory will automatically be unlocked for the wardrobe, so you don't have to keep them in your storage, in your bank anymore. All you have to do is try and find the items that you want, and you can then immediately have them unlocked. Sell them off, or if you can't sell them, just destroy them. It's also pretty useful for quest items. Yeah, so now if you've completed the quest and you say got a shield but you wanted the chest armor, you can now unlock the chest armor at the same time. So all your unselected items from your quests are now unlocked. So you can get different looks, and you can hide your shoulder armor. So everyone got a big cheer for that. And you can also the Transmogrify can also apply for your weapons, your shirts, and your tabards. That's right, tabards. Everybody gets them. That's really huge for World of Warcraft. Man, I can't believe I got through all of that. I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote 4 pages of notes for the World of Warcraft panels. It's taking me so long. Yeah, but the 4 pages are 2 panels long. So yeah, it's about 2.5 hours, if I can remember correctly. But yeah, it is really, really awesome. I'm looking forward to Warcraft Legion. I'm going to pre-order my copy, my collector's edition copy soon, and I hope to get it ready for the next expansion. I'm going to try and, I've got an Alliance character at level 100. I'll see if I can get my my Horde to level 100 as well. It's a Horde Paladin, so yeah, I like the future of Blizzard and World of Warcraft Legion right now. It is epic, so yeah, definitely something that, if you don't know about Warcraft and you have deep interest, just download the trial from the Warcraft website. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is well worth getting that trial and finding out for yourself. Believe me, it is awesome! Now let's get on to real-time strategy. StarCraft 2, ladies and gentlemen. They have announced mission packs coming out 2016, and it starts with Nova Covert Ops. If you play the original Wings of Liberty campaign and you got onto Tosh's missions, you get the choice to either side with Nova or Tosh himself. And right now, this has been announced. There's going to be more mission packs coming out in the future. And in Nova Covert Ops, you play as Nova herself, just like you did with Sarah Kerrigan in Heart of the Swarm. And you get to also control some Black Ops Terrans. They'll be in different skins, so you can play with them as well. I don't know if I can unlock them as well. I gotta say, I'm a big StarCraft player myself. And the future of StarCraft 2 is still looking good. There will be more development for StarCraft 2. There will be more micro content and mission packs packs, including co-op missions and multiplayer. In terms of microtransactions, you get some voice packs. You can have the voice of the assistant, like the adjutant for the Terran, to change to maybe James Rayner or Swan. You never know. And you also get access to unit skins. So I'm looking forward to what's coming out in 2016. Yeah, and according to them. And there will be some more arcades. There's going to be more features and contents, and first paid content. So if I remember correctly, well, players will be able to buy new arcade content, or maybe some new resources to create original content on StarCraft 2. So definitely one to look out for. Yeah. Now, going to the Nova Covert Ops, you can play as Nova herself, and you get to play with the special-looking Terrans. It's a 9-mission story arc, and it comes in 3 packs, so they've decided to separate the content, maybe into smaller chunks and cheaper prices. They've also showed a UI for the equipment that Nova can use with weapons, gadgets, and armor. You could change the grenades that you throw, or the head armor that Nova wears. So, yeah, definitely something of an interesting development, in my opinion. So, do leave your comment on Facebook to share what you think. Yeah, well, let's go on to multiplayer designs right now, because they're doing a change in the leaderboards for their 1-on-1, 2-on-2, the multiplayer functions. Yeah, so it's going to be a meaningful ranks with more accuracy and transparency than before. So then it also could apply to the tournaments, because like an Archon tourney or a 2v2 tourney, it's completely different. If you've got yourself comfortable to the past StarCraft online ranks, you've got to change now, because let me tell you, it will be different coming patch 3.0. Yeah, there will be updates, explored big changes, and cooperating with the community, us the gamers. So yeah, definitely a huge one to look out for. So look out and look forward to the new pack that'll be coming out. Now, co-op missions, this will be an interesting one, because now you get to play with your friends, and you get to control a commander from a different faction. You can fight a computer. Well, you have to fight the computer on campaign-style missions. If you've played some of the campaigns on StarCraft 2, you will understand. Plus, you get to choose a commander from the previous 3 campaigns. Well, the previous 2 campaigns and the new campaign. Definitely I'm looking forward to this, because I can play as Reyna, Kerrigan, or Artanis, or Swan if I wanted to. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of a choice, I'd say, for the co-op multiplayer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what's going to come out for StarCraft 2. And you're probably wondering what's next. There will be more missions like Capture Point, more commanders, and there will be a lot more stuff for StarCraft 2. So yeah, StarCraft 2, it's still got a long lifespan ahead of it, but I'm still thinking that there might be another RTS game in the works. You gotta keep your eye out for StarCraft 2, so do make sure that you keep an eye on their website and keep an eye up to date, because I will be keeping an eye on everything. So do subscribe to me, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say on the topic. Let's go on to a personal favorite of mine. I want to share something with you before I do. I'm a big fan of trading card games. I like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, even a game called Duel Masters. And one of my favorite card games amongst that list is Hearthstone. Yeah, Hearthstone. And at the Blizzcon convention today, no, not today, sorry, some time ago, we were shown all 45 cards throughout 4 wings, but I don't want to get into all of them, so I'm going to share with you all 5 legendary cards. The first legendary is Elise Starseeker. Now, she's got a really special ability that adds a treasure map to your deck, and if you draw it, you get to add another card to your deck called the Golden Monkey. And that monkey will turn every card in your hand and your deck into legendaries. How epic is that? Oh, I can't imagine the deck without legendaries, believe me. Another legendary is Reno Jackson. Basically, if you have a deck of 1 of each card in your deck, ability will activate. I can't remember what he does, but yeah, that's the condition of his summoning. Fran Bronzebeard, he's also a legendary card now. So yeah, you get to summon the founder of the Explorers League, and it's out on Thursday. Let me see if I can remember which day that Thursday is, because here we go, the 12th of November. Everyone gets it on the 12th of November. Yeah, you get to go through the Legendary Explorers League in the Hearthstone. Yeah, and this is a really funny character that you get to add to your collection as well. Sir Finley Golden. Oh yeah, he's so funny. This wing has this adventure actually has included Murloc cards. Finally, some very good Murloc cards. They've all been the weak Murloc cards that we've all been used to. So, yeah, it's glad to see that we get a legendary Murloc and Sir Finley Murgleton. Maybe we'll get Cookie in the next one. Okay, and the last one is Arc Thief Farm. Now, this is a legendary card that adds a legendary relic. One of 3 legendary relics to your hand. And it's a 10 mana card, and it's real kick-ass. Very useful and very powerful for anyone, so make sure that you construct a deck concerning the summoning of this guy, because believe me when I say this, you're going to need every card in your deck to beat him and use him. Now, onto the MOBA game, Heroes of the Storm. 3 new heroes were announced at Blizzcon this week, and believe me, I am stoked about, one of the heroes. Gen Greymane, the king of Gilneas, actually, he is now a hero of the storm. Yeah, and he's going to be a metamorphosis character, ranged assassin to melee character. That's how he's going to roll in this game. So players will actually be able to buy Gen Greymane. Unfortunately, I don't know when he's going to be available as a playable character, but he is a new hero in the storm. As is this one, a druid called Lunara. Yeah, she's a dryad character, another ranged assassin character that you get to play as, and she's got some pretty cool abilities. One of them is the Wisp, where you can see farther into the battlefield, where there's that fog of war that everyone is always getting into. So yeah, you can use the Wisp to see through that fog of war. That was introduced in Warcraft 3, by the way, if you were looking for a history lesson. There was also 2 more. The first one, it's not a hero actually. These are 2 new arenas that have been announced at BlizzCon. The first one is called the Towers of Doom, and I haven't seen everything about it or heard all the details, but that's all I know about it. And also one called the Arena. I think it's going to be a fair combat field that everyone can go through, and it's definitely not going to give anyone a competitive edge over the other team. So I think this is going to be a fair field for anyone. Some new mounts have been announced for Heroes of the Storm. Unfortunately, we didn't see any details on those new mounts. But then a huge twist came out on Heroes of the Storm announcement. Cho'Gall, the Ogre of the Twilight Hammer, he's going to be a playable hero for not just 1 player, but for 2. Cho'Gall is 2 heroes merged as 1. So this is going to be a character that's going to rely heavily on communication with each other, so teamwork is an essential part of Cho'Gall. And if you bought the e-ticket or ever went to the BlizzCon convention in America, you get Cho'Gall for free. If not, you have to get him through a quest on Heroes of the Storm, so you're going to have to work really hard with this. Yeah, so Cho'Gall is going to have 2 separate abilities for himself. Cho is the head at the right of the ogre, if you can imagine it. He's going to be the melee tank character, and he's going to have his own physical abilities. There's no magical, it's all physical contact with him. But Gall, on the other hand, he's going to have magical abilities. He's going to be able to shoot shadow bolts at your opponent, so it's going to be a really tricky hero, in my opinion, to master, especially with another player, because you never know which head of Cho'Gall you're going to get. Yeah, but here's a fun thing about Cho'Gall when playing Heroes of the Storm. And not only when you kill Cho'Gall, it doesn't count as 1 kill, it counts as a double kill. So definitely 1 hero to keep an eye out for, and 1 that you must kill. If you gotta nuke him, in my opinion, you've really got to nuke him. Make sure that he is beaten badly, really badly. Make sure your health is high, your characters are all ability strong, and then bang him. And we were also treated to something special at BlizzCon. We found out about the hero selection process in Heroes of the Storm. Basically, it's 17 weeks long, where everyone, the hero is chosen, all the art concept is found, and then they have to come up with the mechanics for the hero, and then put him into a test simulation to make sure that he's all balanced out, and that he's combat worthy in the game, to make sure that it's not only good for Blizzard, but also good for the players. So yeah, there's a lot of testing involved when creating heroes for Heroes of the Storm. It's a really hard, long process. It's something like 4 months. You gotta really understand this. When Blizzard picks a hero to enter their MOBA game, it's really important that they understand and all the strengths and all the weaknesses for that hero. And before we change topics, there is one more announcement that was made for Heroes of the Storm. It's also concerning the last announcement section that I've got for this podcast regarding Overwatch. Yep, Overwatch heroes are going to be in Heroes of the Storm. Yeah, and the first hero that's going to come out for Heroes of the Storm, it's Tracer. And she's going to be a free hero if you ordered the Origins edition for Overwatch. More details to come, not very long, because this is the last game that I'm going to be covering in this BlizzCon podcast special. There's been 3 new heroes announced for the game. Yeah, the first one is a warrior called D.Va. She's a robot user and a former pro gamer from Korea. So yeah, we don't know. She looks really strong in the tank, because the tank, it has all of the special abilities for D.Va to use. Really, really impressive, and especially the last one where you set the robot for self-destruct, and the pilot, D.Va, she leaves the robot and then runs around trying to build up the points to summon her robot again. So yeah, a really interesting character to use. And another character that was also introduced, she's called May, and she has this freeze gun like Mr. Freeze from Batman, yes, and her origins are from China, where she was studying, can't remember the subject, but it was definitely to do with environmental change in certain areas. Yeah, so May is going to be the support range character for Overwatch, and yeah, her weapon looks pretty awesome, especially that special ability of hers where that drone comes out and then freezes everyone. Yeah, it looks really easy to use, and a lot of fun, I think, in my opinion, to play a character that can actually use a freeze gun like that. The walls that she uses can actually be used by your teammates to try and get to those hard-to-reach areas. So yeah, if you have a team and you want to get to an area that you cannot reach, use May. And one final character that was added to the roster at the BlizzCon conference, Hanzo's brother, Genji. He's an actual cyber ninja. Yeah, a ninja from Japan, and he was actually branded a traitor by Hanzo's clan, and now Genji is back to get revenge on Hanzo. Yeah, definitely, his final ability, that dragon sword, that looks really badass. Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on it for PS4, for PS4. There is one other map that was added, and it was Hollywood. Yeah, Hollywood's added as a battlefield map for Overwatch, and I was surprised by the cameo appearance for the from World of Warcraft, the Goldshire part. I never thought that was going to be coming out. I never thought that would be a name for a studio in Overwatch. So, yeah. So, let me get into more details, because this is definitely fun. Overwatch is coming out in spring 2016. So, yeah, you can get a normal edition of Overwatch for PC, or you could get something called the Origins Edition. This was announced at BlizzCon this week. You get all 21 heroes and maps purchased together with the game, and with the Origins Edition, you get Origin Skin, 5 skins for 5 characters, so that's 1 each. You get Mercy Wings in Diablo 3, 6 new portraits for StarCraft 2, card back of Overwatch for Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, a Baby Winston pet for World of Warcraft, and Tracer, like I said earlier, for Heroes of the Storm. And yeah, the Overwatch Origins Edition will be released for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Definitely a really good first-person shooter game. So I'd say pre-order your copy right now and make sure that you're ready for Overwatch. Well, I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed BlizzCon this year, and I am really stoked for Legion and Overwatch. Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to the new Hearthstone adventure mode, the Explorers League. So, yeah, definitely, these are some games that I definitely advise you to keep your eyes on, because this next year, it looks like Blizzard is going to make more great games than ever before, and I'm going to be a big part of that. Yeah, so talking about being a part of something, do be a part of next week's Emperor's topic. Because next week we're going to talk about something that's not really good for everyone here in the UK if you're a gamer. A lack of developers in the UK, because from what I've heard, there's a lot of UK developers going overseas to bigger companies and creating other games. So please do leave a comment on Facebook about what you think of the lack of developers in the UK, because believe me when I say this, ladies and gentlemen, this could be a serious issue, and I think we need to come up with a solution to this problem. I'm not saying this because I'm a game developer student myself. I'm just saying this because this is a really, really big situation, and we need to tackle this right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, I am still recovering from Blizzcon this year, and I am looking forward to the next Blizzcon. But I'm also looking forward to the next Emperor's Voice podcast, which is next week. So please do subscribe on YouTube and follow me on Facebook, because believe me when I say this, this is definitely the place for UK gaming news.